dream, the road kept going after the map ended. Just gravel turning into black water. You were walking ahead, but every time I called your name, the sound went wrong, came back as someone else's voice asking, why are you still missing?
All right, everybody. I hope that you are all doing very well. So we're going to dip our toes. Let me make sure that you guys can hear me. You can hear me. Okay. We're going to dip our toes back into true crime because this story about the 16 children in Ohio, the 4 adults, and they're living in just squalor, just abject filth and poverty. There's stories now that are emerging about Elizabeth Sider. Now, the argument is this: is Elizabeth Sider a perpetrator? Is she an abuser? Or is she actually a victim? I mean, we do have one 18-year-old girl who is, so she's an adult, she's of age, but she's being classified as victim. And when I hear Elizabeth's story, I just shudder at the thought that she is locked up, because I honestly believe in my heart she's also a victim. I believe, it's my opinion, that she was heavily controlled, and that, if you look at her, you look at her size, she's painfully thin, so thin, right? And the police have described the kids as very, very thin. And then you've got this Gary, her husband. He is fat. I mean, I'm not trying to be hateful, but he is obese. He's very overweight. And his father, very overweight. And then the mother, Lynn, she is described as being probably one of the healthiest in the whole group of people that were in the house. There's some stories that are coming out that the house didn't always look like it looks now, that it's really only looked like this in two months, the past 2 months, and that it happened because Lynn, the grandmother, that she ended up not able to get around very well and clean like she normally did. Now, I don't know about you, but if we're just gonna like keep it honest, factual, I think the filth, I think it's more than 2 months worth. And the description of the condition of the children, again, this doesn't seem like a situation that only eroded in the last 2 months. It feels much longer than that. You do have Tommy Stawley is the attorney specifically for Elizabeth Sider, and he is doing a lot of talking. He is appearing on in interviews and news broadcast, and he is also making the claim that these kids are not feral, that it's unfair to describe them as feral. And then he uses access to the internet, the fact that they had cell phones. He uses that as like a sign that the kids were, I guess, sophisticated or whatever, non-feral. But I don't think that's a really good mark. I don't think that's a good indicator. I think things like adequate nutrition is very important. And I think having a clean living environment is most important over anything. And those two basic things are just not evident. They're just not. And I understand that Tommy Stolly's job here is to defend Elizabeth. I understand that. But I ran across an interview that is so interesting. This is actually one of Elizabeth Sider's brothers. This is Joey Russell. And Joey Russell and his maybe wife or girlfriend, I'm a little unsure exactly what her role is. Anyway, they have kind of made a podcast where he has really opened up and answered a lot of questions. Now, this is not the same brother that was a little older and said, well, we gave them a car, but they were keeping us all away and we didn't know what was happening. This guy, Joey's stepping up to the table. Joey's owning it. He is telling the story. And he's not making any apologies for anyone. So this is a very interesting interview. And so I thought, this was something that I felt really comfortable doing a video on my channel. I know I've pulled back from a lot of the true crime cover. Well, I've pulled back from everything. I'm not making hardly any videos anymore. But I'm just trying to find a new way. I want to take a respectful route when it comes to victims and victims of their families. And so I'm just doing a lot of soul searching. But I did think that this is, we're going to listen to it, Crystal, officially the longest name on YouTube. We're about to listen to it. And he comes across as very genuine to me. So this is a incredible insight, incredible information coming from the brother Joey, and it gives us more information about Elizabeth specifically. And it seems to me that Elizabeth was born into a highly abusive, physically abusive family, and that perhaps she ended up with Gary Jr. and his mom and dad. Perhaps she ended up there because it was safer than her own family of origin. You cannot, here's an important fact here. You cannot excuse Elizabeth's family, mom and dad. You cannot excuse them like somehow they lost Elizabeth. And before Elizabeth got together with Gary, everything was fine. Because you have to remember that Elizabeth's mom and dad, they went across the state line into West Virginia and signed their 15-year-old daughter away to an 18-year-old, an adult. They did that. And you know what I want to know? So Joey, if you run across this video, here's a question I have. Is it possible that your mom and dad, maybe they got some financial remuneration? Maybe Gary or his mom or dad, maybe they really wanted Elizabeth, her new baby. Maybe they really wanted her in the family, and so they agreed to give money or to give something of value to Elizabeth's family. I'm just curious. I've heard of such a thing, the old-timey dowry thing, right? But there was there has been quite a bit of that in families that were signing off on their underage daughter to be married to someone in another family. So it is an uncomfortable concept, but I believe I think that Elizabeth should be treated like a victim. She is painfully thin. We saw her condition as soon as she was arrested. I think they've got it wrong in charging her. And I do agree. Let me say this too. Just because someone is a victim, it doesn't remove from them the responsibility of any crimes that they themselves may have committed. So I do accept that, and I know that. But I also know that when children are in violent homes or homes where other terrible things are happening, survival can be very powerful. And perhaps she gravitated toward this family because they treated her better and she felt safer. But I do get the feeling at this point now, after 16 children, well, there was actually more because 2 of them died. I do think she was being mistreated. I don't think, in other words, if you look at the grandpa and the grandma, they were of healthy weight or more. They were eating. So why isn't Elizabeth of a healthy weight? What, her husband is obese. Why is she looks like she's being starved to death, and apparently the children also look like that. It appears, I heard a doctor come out and say maybe they were mixing together the oil, the cooking oil and the water, and that's what the children and Elizabeth were using to stay alive, because the cooking oil has the highest number of calories per teaspoon of any other known substance. So you would, with that cooking oil, drinking it, you would have been able to get enough calories to keep your heart beating, keep your liver and your kidneys functioning. So it's all a very, very disturbing and dark set of circumstances. But if on the off chance that Elizabeth is a victim of abuse, and certainly being forced to carry 16, 18 children, reproductive coercion, 100%, I do think she is probably a victim. So we are going to listen to this interview. I hope everybody is doing well. So let me get it going. You may hear my computer rustle around a little bit because I'm going to move into my bedroom because I've worked all day and I'm tired. So I want to sit in my bed and listen to the interview with you guys. So just give me a minute. It may be a little scratchy, but I'll get there.
I found out some things today that I never thought I'd hear.
Okay, put a 1 in the chat if you can hear that okay. If you're able to hear that, put a 1. Hey, Justice Jane, good to see you. Kalisa Katz, welcome. Cinnamon Hot, 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 good to see you, my friend. Boss Lady, so good to see you. Crystal, it's wonderful to have you. Thank you, guys. Melissa, you're number 1 today. Yay, Melissa. Okay, Fancy Nancy, just me. Thank y'all for being here. I appreciate that. Okay, so let's listen to this interview with Elizabeth's brother. Joey Russell is his name, and he is not pulling any punches. He is coming with truth. So here we go.
See, people are trying to judge Joey because, yes, he has made some mistakes. He has a past, 100%. But Joey also lived with undiagnosed mental illness almost his entire life until he met me and I got him the help that he needed.
And if y'all want my doctor or psychiatrist from Woodland Centers and help us, that's fine. I'll sign the HIP before you, so you can get my record saying and showing I was trying to get help. I was on Zyprexa 7.5 forever. I went through abuse. My sister went through abuse as growing up. And it's hard for me to come out about this. Everybody's saying I had something to do with it. Me and my sister was best friends. You couldn't catch us. We were inseparable. You couldn't catch us apart.
Which is why all the rumors are coming that there was anything inappropriate between him and her. That couldn't be further from the truth.
And I may have messed up on the age of 13. It might have been 14 or 15 when she had that first baby. But since you all already know, Justin was coming home with us. He was our best friend.
He was also a kid.
They were also, Justin was also a kid. He went to school with me and Jeremy. Well, since it's already out there, and I have to apologize to Justin for that.
He accidentally word vomited it on one live, and he did not expect her to post it.
That's still a child, I know. If there's anything y'all want to know, go ahead and start asking. I'll tell you the best I can. But I'm going to tell you something right now. Everybody's sitting there saying, and I know my whole family's done disowned me over this because I'm speaking out for my sister. So I don't care what's said tonight. I don't care.
And somebody has to be the voice for her.
Yeah,
and
everybody's getting mad at me because if my sister's wrong, she's wrong. Okay, I'm not. I won't have nothing else to do with her. But if she's a victim, I'm going to be there every step of the way, and I don't care which one of y'all don't like it.
Exactly, Tammy.
I'm here to support you guys 100%.
I also had somebody reach out to me today from a fake Facebook, and she said she wants to stay private because she has been around the family recently. And she said that the conditions at the house have only been that way for about 2 months. And she said it's because Lynn got to the point where she couldn't do anything anymore. And she said that Gary Jr. took full control over everything, and that even Elizabeth, the children, nobody was allowed outside anymore, that he was basically like losing it. He was paranoid all the time. I don't know if that is true or not. I really want to get verification of that first. I told her she has to send me some form of proof because there's so many lies on this. It's crazy. Like, there's people even coming up with crazy twisted lies that don't even live in this country. That's what I believe. I believe if she is a victim, we want her to go through all the forensic psychology. We
Right.
want her to get screened. We want professionals to make that determination. It is not up to other people on the internet who are miserable and sit on live for 16 hours a day talking about other people and making fun of other people to determine if she is a victim or not. By looking at her, you can tell she looks far worse than the rest of them. That's my personal opinion. So yes, we want it to be looked into. If she is guilty and she is dubbed completely capable and she completely competent, then we want her to get prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
But we don't feel that's the case.
But like Casey said, Casey, I know you're watching, I have been one hell of a kid. I started at 9 years old and I ain't stopped yet. Everything that's on my record, I admit to. Everything.
Like I said, Joey had undiagnosed and untreated BPD, which, if you guys don't know what that, borderline personality disorder, and he had severe anger issues. The problem is, babe, I don't want to speak your story for you, but after going through so much abuse himself and being bullied in school and getting beat up in school, eventually he started fighting everyone back. And then his entire life from that point was fight or flight. But that's his story to tell, and I'm going to let him tell that story.
And so the story that they're telling and then the current diagnoses that are being claimed, those actually would go together, right? So this was the first part in the interview that I thought to myself, this really rings true. This Now there's some background here. It's consistent with what we know about complex trauma and adult mental illness, the type of medications he's on. He named a doctor that is actually real. He got it in the real town and everything, which this area of the country is very rural. And I do know the area. This was my first moment of this rings true. The story rings true.
I got 2 probation officers that can verify most of this. And one of them actually lived right up the road from me. Her name's Joy Elliott. And the other one's Jerry Dorst. I had come to them multiple times.
Babe, somebody asked if you and Elizabeth were beat on.
Yes, very bad. I was put in the hospital for 2 weeks.
Horrible.
My sister was whooped, smacked in the face. I had my penis pinched.
So sad.
My own Uncle Jamie, I hate to say this, and this is so embarrassing, and I don't care. I was fighting with my brother one day, and he went to run down the hallway and accidentally scratched him on the back. Well, my Uncle Jamie started whooping me. And he took me in the bedroom, and he put his finger somewhere he shouldn't have put it. I have been through so much. My sister has been through so much, but nobody.
And Joey, if you stumble upon this video, there is exactly nothing for you to feel embarrassed about. Nothing. Whether you are punched in the face or somebody does something like what you just described, it is still assault, and nothing you did ever deserved that treatment. Nothing. So hold your head up high. No embarrassment, nothing. And if what you're saying is true about Elizabeth and the way you guys grew up, then it needs to be out there for her safety so that she can get the services that she needs and so that she gets the proper representation in court.
Wants to speak on that. So I'm going to. We were beat with
extensive. He didn't want to out his parents. He has been fighting for a relationship with his parents for 38 years. And after last night, after he talked to a few family members, that was it. He said, I can't do this anymore. You guys just want to cover up what happened to us. He said, this is why Elizabeth left, and this is why I'm done, and I'm washing my hands of all of you.
My own aunt last night texted me, and I'll send it, I'll share it, I don't care. She said, you need to stop going over there running your mouth. I'm not running my mouth. I'm the only one in my whole family speaking out for my sister. Jeremy's such a good brother, Casey. Why ain't he saying anything? Yeah, I'm glad he stopped talking to you. I really am. I'm not even trying to go there, but I'm glad he stopped talking to you.
He stopped talking to you, though, because the family found out that you and Brent are getting in podcasts talking about the family.
Oh, I recorded everything. But any which way it goes, I started getting in trouble at 9, acting out. Anytime I get in trouble, I go to the probation officer and ask her to send me off. I'd get off the school bus sometimes and ask if I could go to juvie. Just because I didn't want to be home. I would get beat on constantly. In case you don't know none of this, because if he does, he's like, oh, I didn't see it. You didn't see none of it because it happened behind closed doors. Nobody's seen nothing.
In case he wasn't around that much, they tried to honestly avoid him because he was known as the dirty, stinky kid.
That and he left my brother in a Jeep one night drunk, and my brother went to jail over it in case he didn't do shit about it. He didn't take out for what happened. They broke a window in a Hummer at the AFW. Actually, I looked it up. He's got public intoxication and stuff, but he didn't go to jail. My brother went to jail for it. He ain't no good. Like, it's right there on Google. It says that he did what he did. Casey is no better than nothing. He was even trying to get with my sister a couple times while she was younger. So all this shit, it's coming out. Like, people's dirty laundry's coming out of my family.
I can't speak
They're
on
not
any
gonna
of
sit there
he went through
and
because he hid most of it from me even.
And when it comes to my son, Tyler is my son. Tyler Donovan Russell is my son. My son. And me and my ex-wife, were passing each other. She was going to work For morning shift, I was getting off at third shift. I was taking him, we passed, I grabbed a stroller. It was on Cleveland Avenue. I still remember Oakland Park and Cleveland Avenue. We lived at apartments right beside KFC. I took him in. I propped the bottle up, and I fell asleep. Well, he woke up screaming and crying, and I went to pick him up out of his car seat, and I cracked his arm. That is the whole thing with Tyler. And I got the x-ray. You could barely ever see the crack, but that's what happened.
It was
I went to jail for it. I called the law. Nikki, please. I called the law myself because I was scared. I was a first-time father. He was screaming. It broke my heart. I got 3 years probation for that. Judge Betsy is the one that sentenced me in Columbus, Ohio. I don't hide nothing. In case he's over like, you're not going to admit nothing. I admit everything I've ever done.
They want to know if your mother was or your sister was emancipated. I'm sorry, I was reading the name.
Actually, my mom and dad signed the papers. I'm not hiding them no more. It's in the court records. It's there. That's something you shouldn't have to ask. It's in black and white. Yes, both of them signed. All four of them signed it. Lynn, Gary, Dad, and Mom signed that paper. And when I left for Georgia, I told my brother to watch my sister. What'd he do? He let her go over and get pregnant. Now that's a good brother right there.
They want to know what happened with your other son.
That's a hard one to talk about. And I you know what? My nephew was there, and I'm glad he was there, and he's old enough to tell now. I'm going to tell the whole fucking story. Or it ain't story, it's fucking truth. I was working at San.
Sorry about that. I was talking and you guys couldn't hear me at all. I agree with hybrid Pisces that it is very difficult to know how it is that house with all those children and this young woman, Elizabeth, these two elderly people that they don't look like they can hardly get around or take care of themselves, right? It's a little hard to understand how the town didn't know anything about them. Elizabeth has come out, the attorney came out and said that all of her children were born in the hospital, that all of the children have birth certificates. Okay, well, that's not quite the story that the district attorney told us, right? It's like, oh, they hid these children. They flew under the radar. That's the kind of people they are. You're like, wait a minute. How exactly are you hiding a child that's born in a hospital exactly? So, there's a young lady that did an interview, and she works at the Dollar General. And she's really sweet. And she came out and said she feels really guilty. She wished she had done more. She did give the family some clothes and stuff. But what she said is that anytime that she saw the man and the grandpa and grandma, that they were always clean and that they looked well nourished. But that Gary and Elizabeth would come in even sometimes with a couple of the kids, and the smell was just horrendous. She said that the kids hold their heads down and the hair falls over in front. So they're like hiding behind a curtain of hair, right? She also said that Elizabeth does that too, that she holds her head down and keeps her hair forward to hide behind. So let me ask y'all this. In your neighborhood, if you saw a family where they are completely unwashed, and they've all got really long hair and they're hiding behind a curtain of hair when they go out, you don't think you and your neighbors would be talking about that? You don't think you would be curious about, wow, who is this family? You know what I mean? So if you're just, a local produce farmer, you don't have any way to do anything or to question, but the cops would have known about this family. The people at the hospital or the people in the school, somebody would be talking about this family. So the girl at the Dollar General, she said that she had been seeing online where everybody is saying, no, we did not know there were any children. Nobody had any idea there were any children. She said that's totally not true. She said they knew there were children. So see, we have some truth tellers that are coming out, and it makes you wonder, did people just finally reach a point where they couldn't ignore it anymore, but they ignored it so long that 2 kids nearly died?
In Hill, West Virginia, I owned a landscaping business. I was working for Andy Jobapur. I was working for the Judge Nybert over there for Point Pleasant. I was working for the governor doing his landscaping, Joe Manchin. And my mom calls me. She's like, Joey, can you come get Jordan? I said, no, Mom, I cannot come get Jordan. I said, I'm at work. And she's like, well, he's got a 2-hour early dismissal. Can you go to the farm and get him? I said, no, I cannot. I said, but after 5 o'clock, I can come to Long John Silver's and pick him up for you. And she's like, okay, that'll work. Well, Brittany gets off of work. She was working at Riverside, something in
Brittany is the child's mother.
Proctorville, Ohio. She was in Proctorville, or working in River's Edge in Proctorville, Ohio. Anyway, she comes and we load up everything, get everything loaded up. We go to Long John Silver's. I go in. Mom gives me some food, gives me Jordan and Brittany some food. And I told her not to go. I said, don't leave nothing on the truck. I said, our alternator's going out. I was about to go to AutoZone and buy alternator. Well, I come out, battery's dead. Me and her get into it. And I go back in, get the keys from my mom, jump my truck. We go back to Eastern Avenue. And I get him out of his carrier, and I'm walking up the stairs. I'm about to unlock the door. Well, I got to step in, and everybody and their mama knows I wear cowboy boots. Well, she had this little dog. And it crapped in my floor. And I slipped in it and almost dropped my son down the stairs. So that dog came running up. I kicked it. I ain't gonna lie about it. I did it. But when I did that, Jordan was coming through the back door, and he seen me do it. And he took off crying. I told Brittany, I said, I will be right back. I will be right back. And well, me and Jordan was out there talking about 15 minutes. And I'm going to tell you something right now. This is the hardest thing a dad will ever have to walk in on. I don't care who believes me and who don't. She's lied and said she wasn't there. She did this. She wasn't. I did this when I was on. I was at work, and then I came home. I walked in the house, and I heard my son making a sound. And she was like, I was like, where's Nana at? She was like, in the playpen. I never put my son in the playpen, ever. He was in that or his walker or something like that. I put him in his playpen at night. I said, has he ate yet? And she was like, no. And his bottle's right there. I made sure it wasn't too hot. Put it on my wrist, like you're supposed to. I go out there, or I go in the room, and my son is turning purple. Gasping, his eyes are rolling.
It's okay, babe. Take your time.
My son's sitting there choking on his own blood. I pick him up, and all that blood comes on me. I look at Brittany. I was like, what the fuck happened? I said, you need to call 911. I hand my son to her, and I'm trying to call 911. She throws my son back at me and says, I can't do this, and runs outside. I'm sitting there trying to call the law, and the ambulance, and my dad pulls up. I busted his window out of his truck. I was so scared. I didn't know what to do. I tell him to get in the truck. I put my son on my nephew, and I throw this girl up in that truck, and I said, you're going. And I made her go. Well, we get out there, and Justin Rice and Matt Harvey is out there. They're detectives. One's for city, one's for county. Everything I just said is the same thing I told them. Never changed. It's in the court documents. It's never changed. We get home, and I know that Aaron Moody's been talking to everybody. I know. I didn't beat my son. Look how big my hands are, and look how big I am. I'm about to hit a 10-month-old son out, and my kid, I'd have killed him. Well, they're packing her stuff, trying to get her out of my house. I'm going off. Harvey's telling me that he needs to talk to me. He needs to talk to me after the interview. Just find out my son's been life flighted at Nationwide Children's Hospital in Columbus. I go up there. Luckily, a nurse that was working there was working with me at McDonald's, taking her internship. They were helping her do her college. And they told me I couldn't be there because sign of abuse. And I started going off while her and the doctor take me in there with Children's Services and sit there and tell me that she admitted to breaking his legs, ribs, shoved a bottle down his throat, knocked his teeth out, gave him 3 hematomas on his brain. Well, that's where the part Aaron comes in at. I tried to unalive her. Drove my truck home, went through the house. That's what happened with that. Now, I'm tired of people saying I hurt my kid. Last time I whooped a kid was Jordan, and that was so long ago. I first got out of prison for felony, fleeing, and eluding, but you will see.
So what he's addressing right now, he's coming out and telling like his story, his truth about Elizabeth and their parents and the way they grew up, right? His family has now come out and started all these terrible rumors about him, that he did all these terrible things and that you can't believe anything he's saying, that he's a big liar. I don't know, y'all. He doesn't sound like a liar to me. I mean, how many people do you know that would admit to what he just admitted to?
On my record, I almost did 4 years for that. He threw a kitten in my face, and I had to go get stitches. I lit his butt up. That's the last time I've ever whooped a kid.
I do.
Ever.
I believe
But he spanked him. He didn't like punch him. Or...
No, I spanked him. I know y'all gonna get your little twist in the bunch, but no, I spanked him. I popped him on the butt.
Yes, Stacy, that is where his child endangerment charge came from.
Yes, that is my child endangerment charge. Now everybody knows. I'm not going to talk about it no more because it hurts. I got to live with that.
Feisty, we'll get to that here in a second.
Yeah, my sister, my dad actually has one of their relatives that work for him. His name is Jesse White. I'm putting it all out there. His son's Jason White. They're actually related to the Siders. He helps my dad build houses.
The Siders are very odd. You can even ask their own family members. Their own family members will even tell you how odd they are and how it's kind of generational, that all of them pretty much live like that.
No, my son did not pass. No, he was put into adoptions agency through foster care. Yeah.
He was put into foster care, and just because Joey is not the aggressor, we even just last year got the paperwork in the mail of his legal adoption going through and what they changed his name to.
I
have the paperwork.
I can have contact. Brittany cannot.
No, see, Brittany.
I can go get paperwork.
Probation.
I can go get No, my son's just in foster care. He's from last thing I heard, he's doing fine. That makes me happy because I want the best for my son. I want the best for all my kids. I want the best for Elizabeth's kids. But for them to sit there and attack us and not know that me and her was abused when we was kids, yeah, maybe I did deserve it because I was out breaking in houses. I was catching stuff on fire. I was doing all kinds of stuff, fighting, taking guns to school. I was doing it all. I was drinking at school. I was doing it all. I never did drugs. I smoked my weed, but I don't do drugs. I drank back then, but I don't like that stuff now. I think it's disgusting. I smoke cigarettes and greenery is all I do. And the reason I do that, I have so much antisocial.
They want to know if Jeremy was abused.
No, absolutely fucking not. Absolutely not.
Jeremy was not lying when he put on Facebook the other day that he was the golden child. He absolutely is. That boy could do no wrong.
I think they are good vibes. I'm not for sure if they are, because they are from over towards Mount Alto. I can take you right to the Siders' very first house they grew up in. It's going towards Mount Alto. Going towards Parkersburg, West Virginia. I can take you right to it.
Jeremy's the middle child. Joey is the oldest.
I'm the oldest. Jeremy's the middle. Elizabeth's the youngest. And whatever happens to me, I've been threatened and everything. I don't care. I've got my sister's stuff out there as much as I can.
No, we are going to speak, babe, really quick. I do want to bring up, as a lot of people want to know, in the press conference, yes, this is Elizabeth's brother. In the press conference, it was said that the oldest child could not speak or say her own or write her own name. We've been given so many social media accounts for the girls. It's unbelievable. And there was speculation, okay, well, maybe this was the parents running the social media. If you go and you look at their TikToks, you can clearly see that these girls were reaching out for help, and they were making real, like, just the vibe they were giving off is they were uncomfortable with their father. So I don't think that would have come up at all if it was them doing it themselves. Well, then outside of that too, there was also voice clips. A man from India came forward and said that he was the oldest boyfriend. He gave, if you go look at Joey's Facebook, you can see all the text messages. And in the recent one he posted today, there is a voice clip with Chloe's voice. And he's getting more for us. He's digging in his cloud because this was over a year ago. So he has it all saved. But when this news even hit him in India, and he's seen posts about Joey, he reached out to Joey and he said, they're lying about your sister and I have the proof and I want to help you. Well, your niece. They're lying about your niece. So we have proof. We have her voice. We have audio of her voice. We have proof of all of her social media accounts. And it's not just the oldest. There's also accounts for most of the children, including a little boy. We have a YouTube video of a little boy.
I got stuff you all don't even know about. Like, everybody's coming to me. Everybody.
I think maybe the neighbor might have found out that she was with a boy from India or something and maybe threatened to tell the parents. So maybe that's why they had to break up. We asked why the neighbor made them break up, and he said that he didn't know. She just said that they had to break up because of the neighbor Mike.
And I want to thank everybody for. I got a bunch of messages last night that you sent money and put on her books so she could eat. Thank you so much, and I'm going to do the same. And I want to clear something up right now. And Casey's been running his little, lips. I never wanted a fund. What are they? GoFundMe accounts, whatever them things are.
No, there were a lot of people that asked us to make a GoFundMe, and Joey said no. He said, I'm not tying myself to that. I don't need anybody accusing me of trying to make money off of anything. He said, I'm not getting involved in that. And we even said that we would figure out where the donations could go to, and we'd share that information. I personally shared where you can donate on my Facebook. It's one of my only public posts right now.
Oh, yeah. I want to say something, too. Everybody's running a mile saying I'm going to monetize off this. I've had Netflix, Paramount, True Crime. I've had ABC. I've had all of them come to me. And I can send you the screenshot. I said I am not involving myself on that. I'm not making my sister look bad. I am not taking no money. I can make all kinds of money off of it. I don't want it. I don't want it. My sister's suffering. I'm not going to make money off of it like these people were sitting over on the podcast. You know what? You over and make fun of me all you want. I don't care. At least I'm standing up for what I believe in. I believe in my sister. I don't believe in you.
I mean, those people are completely unhinged. They were making fun of my dying father on their live today.
I'm going to try to talk to her in jail. I'm going to try. Yes. I was thinking they would have had chirp devices like everybody else. I was going to put money on it and text her and like, hey, sis, you need to talk, because I'm used to that situation. When my sister went in that arraignment, she was scared to death. She don't know what she's doing. She's a piece of meat through in a wolf den. And then they're lying about all kinds of social media stuff. My nieces can't do that. What are you lying about my sister? I am not, for one, going to ever say Gary, Lynn, and them are going to say ever. They're guilty as.
No, they're not in Pike County. I can't remember the name of the jail.
Hamden. They were in Hamden, which is in Benton County, Ohio, which is 30 minutes from, not even 30 minutes from Gallipolis. It's on the outskirts.
They want to know what jail.
Oh, they're in Southeastern, which is in Hocking County. Oh, and if anybody wants to verify it too, that I was locked up in 2005 at a boot camp, which is HVCRC, Hocking Valley Community Residential Center. My youth specialist was Dwayne Nakanishi, and you had to go through 4 zones before you come home. So at that time, I was not around my sister. I was in lockup, and as soon as I got out, me and my ex-wife Rachel went to Georgia. It didn't come back until 2008, passing through. So anything that occurred between that area, I don't know. I'm not going to tell y'all something I don't know, because I'd be lying, and I'm not going to do that. See, everybody's, I think I messed up on the age. It was 13. I think it might have been between 14 and 15. Me and my wife was trying to, she said, I think you jumped the gun on the age. I said, well, babe, it was around that area. Like, it's around that area. Something ain't right. And I know. But if I messed up, that's my fault. I redact that. I retract it. I'm sorry.
Yes, Elizabeth's maiden name is Russell.
Yes, Elizabeth Ann Russell. A-N-N, Russell. August 24th. I think it's 92. No, Jeremy's 90.
So if you can possibly come here for 2 seconds, it's really important. I'm sorry.
But after that first one, she was never non-pregnant. She was always pregnant after
Just leave
that.
the phone there so people can't see the background. You can put it on hold for 1 second.
All right, Nikki, I got it.
Sorry, guys. And honestly, I would prove my father's condition, and I would turn the video camera on right now and show my father. But I'm not exploiting my father to prove these petty, evil people that my father is dying and sick. I mean, anybody that's my friend on Facebook can see my posts of him and everything. I have nothing to hide with that, but I'm not exploiting my father for the internet to see.
Elizabeth, it was 2008. I was passing up through, I was coming back from Ringgold, Georgia. And that's when my ex-wife, Rachel, her dad's intestines exploded, and we had to go up there. He had to have a colostomy bag and stuff put on. He was rushed to the hospital. 2008 was the last time, and that was the time I was going to pay for her water bill. That was the time I was going to pay for her water bill. It was not recently. It was then. And she told me no, that they wanted the money, and I said no, I'll go pay for it. They were the water people were going to bring up a load because she had a well, and they were going to fill it for her. It was going to cost me $750, but instead they wanted the money, and I said no, I'm not doing that.
Yes, I am Joey's wife.
Yes, Kim, she was.
But that's another lie that was said in that live earlier today, that I know a lot of you watch and a lot of you are falling for their stuff, but they also said that I'm just an internet girlfriend and that Joey lives in a shed. No, none of that's true.
Damn, if I lived in a shed, I'd be making it right now. Damn.
Right. Life would be a little bit cheaper in a shed, huh?
I would know how to live.
We pay our mortgage. We pay all of our bills.
Oh, yeah. That happens.
Like we are homeowners.
Yeah. Eat that one, Casey.
Yeah, Crystal, I have not
But
heard
that's what we
any
think too,
mention
Derek.
of drugs
We don't
yet.
think, like, who
Nothing,
wants to go
nothing
through
yet.
that? Who wants to have that many children? And I mean, I know there are sick people out there that end up getting like addicted to pregnancies and stuff too, though. So that's why we want her to get the psychological evaluation, because there's just been so many years where Joey had absolutely no contact at all with her. We don't know what kind of mental state she was in. She was a kid when she left.
But I promise you this, every time I called home from prison, called home on Messenger, called home on the phone, every time I called, I said, have you heard from our sister? I said, have you heard from Sissy? No. Sissy? No. No, the first time I heard anything about my sister is when she got attacked by the Rottweiler in Wellston. And that was the day after I got out of prison, May 6th of this year. And then, not right after that, this happened. I have not been home. I have not been to Gallipolis in years. Years. It's trash. There's nothing there. As you can tell, everybody from Gallipolis is over talking shit. They don't have nothing better to do in that town. And I don't care if they hate on me or not. That's all they do.
Just Joey was attacked by a dog. Joey was attacked by a canine, a police canine, and it ripped half of his ear off. When they make fun of him and say nine-toe Joe, and when they do their toe counts in that live and stuff, when Joey was a very small kid, when he was 11 years old, he shot his big toe off in a hunting accident with his father.
Yep, it's in the
Can you hear me? I hate when I do that. This guy is talking like, like he's afraid somebody is going to accuse him that it's his fault because he didn't protect his sister or look out for his sister. And maybe somebody's already done that. Maybe there is a podcast or others who have come forward and said, well, if you were any kind of brother, you never would have let this happen to your little sister. You would have stepped up to the plate to help the kids. People can get quite accusatory and they can vilify and point the finger before the whole story is really out. And I don't think we have half the story here. But I do say that what he's describing, his story, as well as what Elizabeth went through, it is consistent with areas with abject poverty and low educational value. The abuse is very common, and there is a lot of anger and frustration, and so people lash out, hit one another, hit their kids. So none of this sounds good. It's not good to be in prison for for child endangerment, when you yourself are still quite young. But remember the purpose of this. The purpose of this is to answer the question, is Elizabeth, is she a victim or is she a perpetrator? Right? I don't know. Still need more information. But it is Joey is the brother of Elizabeth. He's sharing his past life as a kid. Yeah. Thank you, Justice Jane. Yeah. So, and we have a very mixed group of opinions in the side chat. Some people don't believe him, essentially, and they believe that Elizabeth is a perpetrator, and other people feel like maybe law enforcement jumped the gun and Elizabeth should be actually treated like another victim. I personally have felt that Gary Jr., to me, he kind of looks like he may be very low IQ. I saw a video of him and he seemed really detached, right? Some people have said that Lynn was the strong person in the house and that she was making all the rules. Other people have said that Gary Jr. was making all the rules. So here's what we know. We don't know. We're at a period of time where you have cops are saying one thing. Oh, the 18-year-old is nonverbal. They're feral animals. But then her boyfriend from India steps forward and he has videos. There's videos that you can see the 18-year-old and she's talking and she's making TikToks. Okay, law enforcement, what's the truth? This is a little confusing, right? So the girl from the Dollar General, I loved her. I thought she came across as very honest and sincere. And she said, people are saying that nobody knew there were kids at the house. They totally knew. So she's a truth teller. She's brave and she's willing to come out and speak what she knows. So little by little, drop by drop, we're getting a wider, more in-depth picture that Elizabeth may not be the perpetrator, but rather that she too is a victim of Gary Jr., Gary Sr., and possibly even Lynn. Lynn looks like the healthiest one out of all of them. The grandma. She looks healthier than any of them, which would suggest that she was in a position of power. So we don't know the truth. Nobody knows the truth, but people are beginning to talk.
Papers. It's WOWK covered it. Steve McGee covered it, and Sandra, whatever. I can't remember her last name. But yeah, those are two that covered it. Then they tried to blame my dad for shooting me, which never happened. I shot myself. Hey, they asked anything.
His first and last time hunting.
Oh, it's okay. I'm so used to it. This ain't the first time all my records came out. My ex-wife Jennifer put it out there. What was that, Nikki?
He's actually watching this too. And that's another thing that I really want to point out is his ex-wife Jennifer. She stalks us to no end. It never ends with her. No matter when we're live, whose boxes we're in, she's somehow there. Even though we have her blocked on every platform, she still finds her way back. If Joey gets into an argument with somebody, she messages them and sends them his record. That's why he said his record's been out there for a long time on this.
Now, see, the wife of Joey, the sister-in-law of Elizabeth, she's now saying, oh, they stalk us every time we go live. Oh, okay, Mrs. Russell. So are you telling us that you're part of the YouTubia streets of Krama? I mean, that makes me a little uncomfortable. They stalk us every time we go live. Okay, so y'all are streamers?
This app is because it has been. Anytime she does it all the time. But a lot of her stuff too is fabricated. And I mean, if you look into her, I don't know how you would be able to look up a victim's name, but almost every single person she dates has gone to jail for DV charges, and every single one of them have said they didn't do it. But I mean, the advocates pay for her housing, they provide everything she needs, and then she gets a victim assessment every time she gets somebody. Like when somebody has over 15 men locked up on a DV, they should be looked at. They should be questioned.
Yeah. And she got me out there. She catfished the hell out of me.
There is a no contact order. Like that's the craziest part.
Yeah, we're not even.
There is a no contact order with but she's still like will not leave it alone. She's in here right now on a fake account. She's always in his lives on a fake account.
Okay, now they're just doing
their. He had poop everywhere. The kids were nasty. So I'm like, what the hell is this? You're supposed to come meet me. I had like 60,000 people on my lot because they were all following me for this, and she catfished me.
Yeah,
I got played
real bad. He actually met her on TikTok. And I mean, this is probably the one thing people can make fun of him for. He met her on TikTok and he married her right away. Because at that point, he's like, well, I'm already here and I didn't fall in love with her for her looks. I fell in love with her because of who she was as a person. So I can get past the looks. It's going to be okay. And he married her right away. And that's when everything just went downhill, is once they got married. Babe, they want to know what sort of abuse you've experienced as a child.
I got whooped with extension
Hold on
cord.
1 second. I do want to answer this really quick, though. Explain why we think Elizabeth is a victim. So we think she is just based on what she looks like, based on the fact that she hasn't made any attempts to reach out to anybody. We've heard stories from people in grocery stores like the Dollar General, people from food banks. They have all said that she always looked scared and nervous. They said that she wouldn't speak to people. So we're just going off of assumptions, but we have made it perfectly clear that the bruises as well, we want her to be evaluated and go through extensive forensic oh my goodness, sorry. We want her to go through extensive questioning to figure out if she is a victim, because if she's not, we're not going to support her.
No,
if they say that she 100% is capable, she knew it was happening, and this is her fault, we want her to see the justice, because the kids did not deserve this. They did not be asked to be born into this.
What I think happened, I think my sister they finally got her off alone and made it. I don't want to say she was tied up, because that just puts a lot of bad things in my head. I don't want to say that. I don't want to picture my sister like that, because that's just something you don't picture. And I think she was forced to have them kids.
See, you know what I wondered? It's just speculation. There's no reason for me to wonder this. Okay, it's just my own thoughts, imagination, problem solving. I wondered if she's the one who made the call. If she reached out to the police, because she just lost the twins not long ago, right? So I was thinking maybe she called and made these accusations of indecency against her husband as a way to try to get relief, to try to get help out to the house.
I think she's got a little bit of, what is that, Stockholm? Battered women syndrome. I think she's got a lot of stuff going on, and when she didn't talk to that lawyer, I think she's just still timid a little bit and not willing to talk to him because she's scared to death. She don't know nothing right now. The world just hit her, and now look, she don't know what she's scared to death.
No, the family is not related. There was a marriage, like there were two cousins from one side of the family, one from the other side of the family that married each other, but there is no blood relation.
No. Between us, no.
Yes, she was a child when she had her first child. And
Yeah.
that's the
Yeah.
other thing. As a mother, I'm also looking at it as a mother. I could not imagine having a child that young. So here's the thing with that, Rico. There's this thing called battered woman syndrome, and there is Stockholm syndrome. And when somebody is stuck in a situation for so long, they start to identify with it. It starts to become part of their normal life. It's the same reason that women that are in domestic violence relationships stay with their abuser. But I mean, she was so young when she had these kids, and then she's basically been pregnant her entire life. She's been pregnant longer than, like, she was 14 when she got pregnant the first time. And she's in her 30s now. Exactly. The hormones, the changes in your body. I mean, the pregnancy literally changes the chemistry inside your brain while you're pregnant. And then you go through a lot. That's why a lot of women experience postpartum depression, as it does a lot to your body and your brain.
Hi, Deb.
I could not, and so did I. I'll be the first to admit it, and I said it last night on live. I stayed in an extremely horrible relationship for 13 years, and it took us to move out of town and me to meet my neighbors, and I had permission to talk to my neighbors because they lived right next door, and he didn't want things to seem off. And my neighbors built me up and realized what happened. And my neighbors had to pull a pew-pew to get him to get off of me, and he left the house and never came back.
Yes.
I have all of this proof too, if anybody wants to say I'm lying about that. And I absolutely wouldn't put myself in a position to be abused anymore.
Nope. She done told me. I put my hands on her. She knew, nope, I'm gone. Yes, they were really
We
immense.
don't know who he exposed himself to.
I don't know that.
That he might have been urinating off of the porch. We've heard rumors that he was exposing himself at a park. We don't know. None of us are going to know until that comes out in court as well.
Oh, I want to tell you something else too. My grandmother actually had to take me from my parents one time because they accidentally left me in a creek all day in a walker, and I was burnt so bad. She took custody of me. A little bit of that too. You didn't know that, did you? Yeah. Sorry about the wieners on my face too.
Has that been verified, Feisty? Like, has that actually been legitimately verified? Because I haven't been able to find anything on that.
Listen, it's not 13, it's 14. The oldest child is Chloe, period. It's Chloe. Chloe is the oldest kid. She's the first kid, the oldest
I
kid.
know. I was just explaining to you why women stay in those situations. And when women stay in those situations, like, I get it. It's a grown woman. She could have walked out at any time. She could have asked for help at any time. But you have to look into battered women's syndrome.
I'm running with it. Who was that?
It is very real. Yes, every person that goes through things don't experience that.
Who was that?
There are some women that can be held captive their entire life and then get freedom and nothing ever happened. They were perfectly fine afterwards.
Oh, I'm
but
okay.
Most women and most children that go through things like that end up with mental effects from it.
Dinosaur, I'm definitely okay. I'm definitely okay. I promise you. I'm not unhinged. I just don't like people running their mouth, and they don't like it when it comes at them either. They can't.
She did not have a child at 13. So Joey was wrong about her age when we went on the first podcast. Yes. It happened a long time ago. Everything was still really fresh. So he was wrong about the age, and he's come out and said he was wrong about the age. It was 14. He was a year off. You also have to remember, Joey was no longer living in the home when this happened. At this time, he was either in jail or he was with his ex-wife. I mean, his son, Tyler, is just about to be 19 years old. He was already having his own children, because it's very common in that area at that time period for people to be off and getting married. I mean, Joey's own mom got married at 15 and had him at 15.
I'm a product of a bastard childhood. I admit it.
We're not sure. We don't think so just because of the poverty levels, but we also don't know. They could have had some income on the side that we did not know about.
Lynn and Gary, as far as I knew, they had Social Security coming in. I knew that, and they would trade cars here and there. They would trade it plus money. They would get a car and tell them they want like 50 or $100 to trade with it. Other than that, I never seen neither one of them work. Now their daughters, they all work. They all work.
I will say this about his parents. They are great people now. They are hard workers.
What?
They try their best. They're very, very good to their grandchildren that are at their home constantly. They're very good to Jeremy. They're very good to us now.
I don't know how they got to
I think
SSI.
what it is they were just too young then too. I don't think they were ready. Chloe is the oldest daughter of Elizabeth and Gary Jr.
Now, what about Linda?
Who did they say are good people now? Elizabeth's parents? Was I confused by that? Right, Kalisa. Yeah, I agree. I mean, in truth, Cinnamon, I think they probably will, actually. I don't think that will yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I'm confused, just me. Who were they saying was a good person? Hey, hybrid. We got confused by the recording. Yeah, that was kind of weird. Let me see if I can go back a little bit. If the mom did ask for help, would she get it, or would she face what is happening now? Are they talking about Gary's parents, or are they talking about Joey's parents? That was a weird statement, because that is completely different than what he says in the very beginning, right? Let's go back and see if it's a little clearer.
In jail, or he was with his ex-wife. I mean, his son Tyler is just about to be 19 years old. He was already having his own children, because it's very common in that area at that time period for people to be off and getting married. I mean, Joey's own mom got married at 15 and had him at 15.
I'm a product of a bastard childhood. I admit it.
We're not sure. We don't think so just because of the poverty levels, but we also don't know. They could have had some income on the side that we did not know about.
Lynn and Gary, as far as I knew, they had Social Security coming in. I knew that, and they would trade cars here and there. They would trade it plus money. They would get a car and tell them they want like 50 or $100 to trade with it. Other than that, I never seen neither one of them work. Now their daughters, they all work. They all work.
Hard workers. They try their best. They're very, very good to their grandchildren that are at their home constantly. They're very good to Jeremy. They're very good to us now.
I don't know how they got to
I think
SSI.
what it is they were just too young now.
That is so weird.
They're very good to Jeremy, good to their grand workers. And they are great people now. They are hard workers. It's about
daughters, but to trade with it. Other than that, I never seen neither one of them work. Now their daughters, they all work. They all work.
I will say this about his parents. They are great.
See how confusing that is? Okay, they're talking about Lynn and Gary Sr., that their daughters all worked, right? That's the first thing they say. That their daughter, they don't know about Gary and Lynn working, but the daughters all worked. And then out of nowhere, she says, yeah, but then his mom and dad are very good people now. Maybe they were just young. So Are they talking about Elizabeth's mom and dad? That is so weird. This pisses me off.
People now. They are hard workers. They try their best. They're very, very good to their grandchildren that are at their home constantly. They're very good to Jeremy. They're very good to us now.
I don't know how they got the
I think
SSI.
what it is they were just too young then too. I don't think they were ready.
Who?
Chloe is the oldest daughter of Elizabeth and Gary Jr.
Well, what about Linda?
Linda Siders was the one that was giving his mom the updates. She was the one that would run into Joey's mom, either around town or in Joey's mom's work, and she would give her updates about what was going on.
No, they did not go to school. They were homeschooled by Lynn herself. And I guess when she started deteriorating, that's when that stopped. I don't know. I
don't know.
Allegedly.
His parents are not speaking to us because they are upset that we're trying to get to the bottom of the truth of everything. They kind of just want all of this to go away. They want him to stop talking about it. They want all of the details. Joey is genuinely concerned for those kids, and he's genuinely concerned about his sister.
If they had anything to do with my sister, why ain't people going to them like they are to me? Like, because they know I'm gonna get it out there. I'm gonna get it out there. I'm gonna post it. I don't care how annoying it gets, how big it is. I'm gonna post it just to let them know, hey, I'm getting information. I don't care. I don't care who it makes look bad. I don't care. If it makes that AG look bad, cops look bad, my sister look bad, I don't care. It's getting posted.
I agree, hot.
And there's no such thing as me not being allowed to be on the live because I'm a wanted felon. That's not true. And I can go get the paperwork to prove it. So whoever's making that up, which I know who it is, that's full of shit.
Joey asked me to be in here and asked me to help talk.
I have,
I honestly didn't want to be here because of the shit that I've been going through because of this, just because I'm affiliated with Joey.
Can you what?
People are literally harassing me and my minor child just because I'm affiliated with Joey.
Well, these people really are victims, aren't they?
I'm going to say this one time. That first one is a split decision. I don't know. I don't know whose Chloe's is. It's a split decision, okay? The rest of them are Gary's. But that first one, I'm in a split decision. I don't know about conjoined. I don't know about none of that.
Yeah, we don't know. All we know is that we just found out about the twins too, and the rest of the world did.
Yeah, she's 18. I guess they're supposedly releasing them from the hospital, putting them in homes. Do you remember what kind of work, Christine? They didn't do no work.
According to the courts, all of the children were born in the hospital.
And that's a lie. Because they wouldn't have been calling them Jane Doe. They'd been fucking birth certificates and social securities and all that stuff. There was an investigator on here saying the same thing. I mean, she was bad mouthing the hell out of me, but I don't care. Y'all are going to do it regardless. So, but she said that the same thing. Why didn't the person around the family? I don't know. I don't know why Linda didn't say, or whoever, the last person, the neighbor. I don't know why the kids didn't speak out. I don't know. But what I do know is me and Sis had a very bad childhood. That's as much as I can give you on that. Maybe that's what Linda, maybe I am the reason she left. Casey may be right on that. I was a hell of a kid. I was very bad. So it might have been my reason she wanted to leave. He may be right about that. But I doubt it. Like I said, you couldn't catch me and my sister apart. So I think he may be lying about that. Yeah, he may be lying.
We don't know what injuries the kids had. We don't know anything about it. But honestly, Joey was already gone from the home when Elizabeth left. He was already gone from the home when she met Gary. He lived with his ex-wife. And as much as him and his ex-wife don't get along anymore, I'm sure she'd be happy to even say.
Oh, I want to point out something. Since Casey wants to run his mouth, why don't you look up Rick Hayslip? He used to be a cop in Oak Hill. Then get back to me. See what he did.
For the people who are asking who Casey is somebody that has been frequently going on another live, a true crime live, talking about Joey all the time because he used to be Joey's neighbor. He's also the brother of Joey's ex-girlfriend who was just trying to talk to Joey like 3 days ago, trying to like swoop back in.
I got the messages and I'll post them if you want me to. She was trying to say, oh yeah, she was trying to swoop in. Casey's mad because he thought she was getting a GoFundMe account and all this. No, I would never was. And I even told her that she would not go tell him. I told her and he wouldn't take the video down. So y'all gonna get what you're getting now on the social media, I promise you. And that, when they lived in the trailer park, their house was so nasty. Oh God, it was so nasty. Oh God. It was Ricky, Kara, Casey, and Kayla. They were addicted to K2 real bad. Really bad. Really bad.
Joey, didn't you say you wanted to speak on Tiffany too?
Oh, Tiffany? Oh, Tiffany. I forgot about her. Now she wants to sit here and run her mouth. Her and my uncle got a big settlement off of her mom getting unalived by 2 state troopers in Gallipolis. But they got a lot of money and they blew through it within 6 months doing powder substance. They were, yeah. So I know she's in here. My uncle bought a house with a garage so he could open a mechanics shop, but it all went to hell. He's drunk. They were all drunks and they were all cokeheads. They all did drugs, all of them, every one of them. So they're sitting here by mouth. I've never touched a drug a day in my life, to be honest with you. Not one besides weed. Never.
Babe, watch naming things out.
I don't care
really
if they
hard to
said
get your life.
I don't care about what's going on in your life, Joey.
If it's hard questions for him, I feel like he looks like he's a grown enough man. He'd be like, no, I don't want to answer that. Or, hey, everybody quit asking me the same question. You know?
Hey, Joey, can I ask you one more question? I'm going to jump down and let somebody else come up. I think Ivory was wanting to come up. Do you remember back when you guys were growing up and Elizabeth met Gary? Do you remember the parents, like, did they do any type of work at
He
all?
wasn't there when they met.
None.
None.
They traded cars here and there and made money off that. And I think they were getting SSI because he couldn't read. I'm pretty sure he was getting SSI because he couldn't read and write. I'm pretty sure.
Wow.
Okay. That's what I was curious about. I'm going to jump down and let somebody else come up. Thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome.
I am as well. And if I could request that you give She's Country my box, I would really appreciate that. She's a great woman. You'll love her.
Hey guys, can you get She's Country up here?
And
please?
same here. I would like to give my box up.
Fight?
From what I heard, no, they just went and signed it. And the problem is they never wanted me and Elizabeth around.
Let's say this. Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt. I think I'm lagging a little bit. I absolutely agree with you, though. Now, I am a woman with a lot of kids, all right? I've had 10 on purpose, all right? But I'm going to tell you from experience, it's physically, emotionally, and psychologically taxing. Physically, you know, to have that many kids. Now, she's had almost 1.5 times the amount that I've had, and she is far younger than I am. Now, I don't see any woman, in my opinion, choosing to have a baby back to back to back like that, making that decision. I really don't. So I absolutely agree with you. First of all, she was getting pregnant. And again, coming from a medical perspective, that girl was getting pregnant before she should have. Like, at the point where it was just starting to be possible for her to get pregnant again. And bam, she picked up, she was pregnant. But let me ask you this. You know the Siders, you know the area. Why do you think that they want her to have those children? Do you think they were doing something with the kids? Do you think it was money?
Me personally, I think it was for money so they didn't have to work. But eventually that stuff cuts off and then they're screwed. And I think that's what happened. They got cut off and there wasn't no way to afford them kids no more. So I think they were going to let them die, unalive. I'm sorry I get used to the stuff on here. I'm not used to that stuff. But I think that's what, yeah. It's allegedly, but it's in my brain. You're right. You're right, Ivory.
So now, do we know that they were getting money from like the state for the children?
Yeah, so my
We
sister.
don't know that Actually,
I
but she
do.
did
I
say-
know. I know for a fact. The first two kids that were born, she was getting that 3-year extension stuff that you get from the welfare department for having a kid. She was
Oh,
getting
wow.
that, but after that ran out, I don't know. I don't know.
I'm sorry to keep asking, but these are just things. This is such a complex situation.
Oh, I know.
Now, going back to the marriage at 15 years old. Now, first of all, she wasn't even old enough to be on her own. Obviously, she was only 15. Why do you believe your parents allowed her to get married? Like, did they put up a fight?
From what I heard, no, they just went and signed it. And the problem is they never wanted me and Elizabeth around. We were a burden. Oh, believe me, we and her got called that all the time.
I'm not going to lie. I thought that before you even said it, when I really tried to look at the situation. Now, do you think, and again, knowing the Siders, I don't know these people from Adam, do you think that there was some abuse from maybe the father to your
Like,
sister? I don't mean to say that. I'm sorry.
Are you talking about my dad or his dad?
His dad.
I think that he was doing stuff with my sister, yes. I think most of the baby needs to be DNA tested to make sure of that too. Oh, and since the rumors going around, since the rumors are going around that it's mine, I will definitely take my DNA is all over the place anyway in prisons, so they can find that.
Oh, did you hear that? He said there was a rumor that I guess maybe the first baby, maybe that is anyway. Weird. Wow, that was yikes. I wonder if the police know about Joey.
Yeah, they're saying I slept with my sister. Like they are. This Heather woman over on the other crime show is saying I slept with my sister.
Good
Oh my
God.
gosh.
I ain't been home. I ain't even been around my sister, and that's gross. Like that's beyond gross.
Wow.
If there was any of that going on inside of a family, you know what I'm talking about, the INCES word. If that was going on, that was inside that house. That did not happen in our family. Never.
Is there any SA that happened in your family?
Besides me, my uncle doing what he did to me, not that I know of.
Thank you for being honest about that. I
We're
appreciate
sent
that.
a clip. The reason he is calling her out personally from that is because we were sent a clip where they were talking about how Joey was accused of SAing his sister, and that was why she left, and that the oldest child could possibly be Joey's.
It's gross. Gross. Like, come on, man.
That's not good. Damn. Okay, so I was just looking here for like welfare assistance in Ohio. It's called Ohio Works First. It provides cash money for help with rent, utilities, diapers. Pregnant women qualify in the later stages of pregnancy, usually around 6 months or the third trimester. Maximum payment standards. If it's a mother and a newborn, you get $521 per month. If there's 3 in the family, so a mother and 2 babies, you get $640 per month. The term limit, you get that money up until 36 months. So is that why they were keeping her pregnant? For an income? Helps buying groceries. Adding a newborn increases your household size and can significantly increase your benefit. The 2026 federal levels for Ohio are, if you're a household of 1, you get $298. It's for food stamps. Household of 2, get $546. If you're a household of 3, you get $785. So nearly $1,000 in food money. Then also you qualify for Medicaid. You also get Women, Infants, and Children, WIC, provides free nutritious food, formula, breastfeeding support, and nutrition counseling. This is specifically for pregnant women, new mothers, and infants up to the age of 5. So total support in Ohio for a very low income single mother with one newborn could run as high as $1,100 per month plus medical coverage. There is no lump sum baby bonus or automatic payment triggered by giving birth in Ohio. Benefits are not for the newborn alone. They go to the eligibility of the entire household. You must apply through your county job and family services office. Okay, so maybe that's why, because the benefits only lasted until the adults are 36 months, so 3 years, the baby turning 3 years old. But WIC and food stamps, they can last up until the baby is 18, but the cash money doesn't only last until 3 years old. So that would explain why she was staying pregnant, right? DA said they were not getting government assistance for any of them except the grandparents. Yeah, but didn't this guy, Joey, didn't he just say that he knew that his sister was on assistance? Interesting, isn't it? It's a lot. The stories are, well, yeah. And you know why, Crystal? Because when you're pregnant, you get a lot of positive attention from other people, right? Some people may be completely invisible, and then they get pregnant, and then everybody wants to be nice to them and help them, and they have a really positive experience for that, for people suddenly treating them like they're valuable or important people. So, I've seen that before, and it can be really sad. Be really sad. For the first few kids that she was, the DA said currently. Wow. Raised 2 daughters on my own. Had a friend with 7 kids who got every benefit. My girls ate there a lot. Listen, boss lady, we do what we have to do. We do our best. We raise our families, and we don't make any apologies. That's the way it is. Everybody's just trying to do their best. And that's what's important.
Oh my gosh.
I understand the stuff that's going on, the hills have eyes and stuff, but come on, just because we live in a little back country town, don't mean we're like that. That's not what's going on. Now, if it is, like I said, it was in that household, not our household.
There's a lot of new people in here. Joey himself in the beginning of this live admitted to being essayed himself as a kid.
Well, by my own uncle. That's hard to talk about, but I've talked about it with psychologists a lot, so it's easy for me to come out with it. Not easy, but it's there.
And Joey, that's not
my uncle. He could have he's in Noble County or Noble Prison right now for Jamie Raines. Just look him up. He's fucking disgusting. Just if my sister was around him by herself, that right there could be a very, very good.
When I met Joey, Joey was a very broken man. And Joey is healing every day. They're asking if it was Jamie Raines.
I'm not playing victim. No one's playing. I am not playing victim. Not playing victim. I'm telling truths. There is no one playing victim here. I could care less if you believe me or not.
One more question. As far as Gary Siders Sr., Now, I don't know the situation on how they approached you or how your sister approached the family that, your parents, that she was pregnant. But obviously those children were close because they were dating for a minute before that. Do you think it's possible that Gary could have done something to her and that's why they needed her to be married so quickly?
Problem.
I mean, Gary Sr. Like maybe that's why they needed her to be married with Gary Jr.
I don't know. That I don't know. I don't know.
I wasn't sure if you knew them and you were a little like iffy or suspect on like, their behavior with her. I just wasn't sure, but I appreciate
No,
it.
they were nice. They let her around mom and everything. But around 2008, all that stuff stopped. No, they were nice. Mom loved them. They were all getting together. Everybody was doing fine. But after,
And then in 2008, it just changed?
it just, whatever happened. I don't know what happened. That was it. Last time.
Oh, no.
She quit
That's
talking
so
to mom. She
weird.
cut all severs. She cut all communication with all of us. It was over. Done.
The one that they said could not speak is the oldest daughter, but we have proven that that is incorrect. We literally have a video, like an audio clip of her. Babe, turn your screen back.
Yeah, I did.
We literally have an audio clip on Joey's Facebook. For anybody that wants to go see it, look Joey up on Facebook. It's mixed in with the pictures that he posted today. But if you scroll down, you can hit play and you can hear like her speak. We have not heard anything about her being active on social media in the last couple of days. Well, hi, babe.
Hi.
How you doing, my internet boyfriend?
I live in a shed.
Because I'm sorry, we had to put that little joke out there because it was said today that me and Joey are just in an internet relationship and he lives in a shed.
Aren't you his wife?
Yes.
All right. There are apparently a lot of people skeptical. This was posted on a channel. It's called Sonia D. And it's got something like 27,000 views and only like 600 thumbs ups. So to me, that suggests people maybe they don't really believe the story being put out. I'm reading comments. Hold on. Well, a lot of commenters are saying they believe him. I believe Gary was abusing his father and mother, not just Elizabeth and the children. That's very interesting. All right. Okay. So, all right. So we're only like halfway through this interview or just talking live stream. We're only about halfway through. Okay. And we're going on almost 2 hours. So, so let me give you the link. Oh wait, that's the title. Sorry, I don't know why I put that there. Hold on, I'll get you the actual link to the video. If you want to go independently and go watch it to finish it up, here's the link. I know, Crystal, it is. It is very confusing, isn't it? Like, I'm still trying to work out in my head who's the person who's nice now. Elizabeth's parents, when you're saying that they were horribly abusive. So now I'm just confused. At first, they said the oldest daughter couldn't even spell her name. Yeah, that's what law enforcement said. Law enforcement said they're like nonverbal, can't talk. Chloe's not able to write her name. And then you get some dude from India that comes forward and says, that's my girlfriend. Chloe is my girlfriend. And I have recordings and videos of her that prove she's my girlfriend. Isn't that crazy? Hey, boss lady, I'm off to get something now as it's past midnight here. Oh, you need to get you some Z's. Get your beauty sleep, okay? Thank you so much for popping in. Most people do not believe Joey. Well, like I said, the video has got 27,000 views and there are only 600 thumbs ups. That is not good stats. You know what I mean? It's a fraction. I myself think it's an election year. So you think they've known about this house all along and they just waited to get them until they could use it as like campaign content? Look at how she spelled the twins' names. Bailey. Way past beauty sleep. Oh, you know that's not true, Anarchy. You look marvelous. Thank you, Hybrid. Yeah, please, before you leave, Anarchy and everybody, please hit the thumbs up. I sure would appreciate that. So I don't know. I think I'll go ahead and listen to the rest of this, and then we can talk about it more tomorrow. But yeah, weird. The story changed like right in mid-sentence, didn't it? It's pretty strange. I think Cinnamon Hot Hot's going to be right on point here. So, all right. Listen, y'all are awesome. Thank you for hanging out with me. I appreciate it. I gave you the link in the, let's see, Jules, can you talk about reproductive coercion next time? Absolutely. Certainly will. There are people that do that to their wives to control them. It's a form of abuse, actually. So, yeah, I'm more than happy to talk about that next time. Okay. So, but I am going to finish watching this little, or listening to this little interview, and I'll be back tomorrow and we can finish this conversation tomorrow. Please hit the thumbs up, please subscribe if you haven't already. And I really hope that you guys have like a really wonderful evening. All right. Okay. I will see you guys later. Bye.
Woke up at dawn with the pelicans in flight. Coffee brewing strong by dawn's early light. Waves whisper secrets to my open heart. The life around this water gets me off to a great start. Parrots wild, squawking loud in the old palm tree. Dolphin smiles, brighter than the Texas sun on me. We chase simple dreams, nothing fancy or grand, just honest days in this promised land. God gives rainbow horizons to those in this happy lane. Diamonds dancing on the waves, back sparkling again. Honest living, a pursuit of peace, family ties and the
Do you see it, Justice Jane? Oh, wait, maybe you want them to ask. Somebody asked for the time stamp. Yeah, Justice Jane. There it is, right there. 113:44. Good night. Y'all have a good evening. Hit the thumbs up.
Living each moment, giving deceptions woven, no false starts. It goes like a front porch swaying in the ocean breeze, watching the sunset fade away with pink and bluey. Teach the young ones right from wrong with care. Hold them close when the world's unfair. In this Gulf Coast life, we find our way, building memories that never stray. Oh, rainbow horizons after the rain, diamonds dancing on the waves back again. Honest living in pursuit of peace, family ties and the happiness we see. Love for God and country running deep in our veins. Through the storms and the trials, we break those chains. Good living brings the blessings we see. Rainbow horizons calling to me. When the night falls quiet and stars shine bright, I thank the Lord for this humble light, for the flag that waves and the grace from above, filling our hearts with endless love. No riches compared to the peace we found in the tide